I'm standing in front of the most expensive car Mercedes-Benz makes. In fact, it's their flagship car. It's the SLS AMG. It's also the only vehicle in Mercedes-Benz's lineup that is only available in an AMG version. At a starting price of $189,000, I would have to say this is one of the most, if not the most polarizing vehicle you can spend that kind of money on. It's been turning heads left and right, and why not? It's modeled after the original SL300 from 1954. That SL300 was distinguished by its gull-wing doors, and today, the modern-day SLS is no different. In fact, it's the only production car you can buy with gull-wing doors, and that certainly sets it apart. Under the hood of the SLS is a 6.2-liter V8 normally aspirated engine that produces 563 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. Now, Mercedes puts on their website it's a 6.3-liter, but it's actually a 6.2. And in fact, for 2013, this same engine gets 20 more horsepower. And by the way, the carbon fiber in the engine compartment, that's not standard. It's a $5,400 option. The SLS draws much more from its predecessor other than the gull-wing doors. In fact, if you look at the overall proportions, very similar, obviously a lot bigger to accept a modern-day engine. You've got the vents are also a kind of retro styling from the original, and the short overhang in the roof. Now, what is unique to this car that obviously didn't have back in 1954 is this spoiler, which is speed activated. And let me tell you, you will need this. This car is very tail happy. Well, the SLS certainly has a very tight compartment, but it doesn't necessarily feel claustrophobic in here. There are these cutouts, so I have actually a couple of inches of headroom, and being 6'1", that's certainly a welcome design. The steering wheel is unique to the SLS. It's a very tight steering wheel. It has the paddle shifters. There are actually 4 driving modes for the 7-speed DCT that's actually mounted on the rear axle. You have your normal or comfort, sport, sport plus, and manual. That's when you activate the paddle shifters. And believe me, it is a rocket. 0 to 60, 3.6 seconds, and it is a beast. So just to sum up the SLS, I think this is an amazing vehicle, and for the price of $200,000, it's about half the cost of the McLaren it replaces. Furthermore, this car weighs 3,765 pounds, so a lot of the purists out there would prefer a Porsche 911 because it's so much lighter, but let me tell you, when you're driving out here on these roads, you want a little extra weight around you, and I think this car really fits the bill. And remember, you get all that heritage, the gull-wing doors, and Mercedes styling and quality. I really like this car. I think it's like a very sophisticated German ZR1. Don't dig me for that. But in other words, I think it kind of meets the perfect blend of Aston Martin and a Lamborghini.